I'm Chris Lawrence with their headlines from North Texas. A lot of people here are adjusting their travel plans right now. Kevin Reese spoke with state transportation leaders about preparing the roads ahead of the Arctic blast.
The brine trucks began crisscrossing North Texas early Wednesday morning, a full 2 days in advance of any forecast ice or snow. But with 6,000 lane miles to cover, TxDOT says that spreading the water and salt solution has to begin now.
So we're going to be doing that. And what that will do is when any initial ice starts to happen, that's going to give us a little bit of an edge over it.
TxDOT crews are already on 12-hour shifts.
With the event coming, we're all hands on deck.
Same at the North Texas Tollway Authority, where the Safety Operations Center is staffed 24/7 and where treatment of its 33-mile stretch is underway too.
The real workhorses are the people out there with those snow and ice trucks that are putting out that ice melt, plowing the stuff out of the way to try to keep the roads open.
And if you need another tried and true sign of the bad weather forecast to be on the way, the Costco in North Dallas at 75 and Churchill Way. Shoppers jockeying for very few open parking spaces, shopping carts filled with last-minute supplies, and a long wait at the Costco gas pumps. As for roads and highways, this advice from TxDOT.
Now's the time for drivers to look at their plans and realize if they don't have to be out once this storm hits, maybe it is better to stay at home where it is safe.
And give the road crews as much room as you can as they try to make the roads as safe as possible. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
Officials are doing all they can to make sure the weather doesn't put a damper on the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. Adriana de Alba shows us how they're working to keep everyone safe.
This is a rodeo that does not back down from the weather.
Throughout its history, the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo has weathered plenty of winter storms, and the show still goes on.
In fact, it's only been canceled twice, during World War II and the pandemic.
Not equipped to forecast the weather, so keep this in mind.
With winter weather in the forecast this weekend, organizers say they're ready.
You got to be prepared for whatever Mother Nature brings you.
Behind the scenes, crews are stocking up and preparing the grounds.
We plan ahead for that, store loads of sand, loads of salt, in the event that we do have inclement weather.
Safety for both people and animals is the priority.
Yes, making things as safe as possible for our guests. We're prepared and ready to roll.
For ranchers like Michael England, preparation at home can mean everything.
To me, that's got to be the worst, is not preparing pipes and getting ready for that, because first off, the animals need a constant supply of water. And it's just miserable trying to fix it while it's cold.
Still, many are willing to ride it out.
We're already here, and who knows, maybe we'll get out of here before the actual weather hits.
Back at the rodeo grounds, the message is clear.
We're still going to have a good time. We don't cancel because of adverse weather.
In Fort Worth, I'm Adriana de Alba.
Families got a chance to address Celina ISD officials for the first time since seeing the results of an investigation into former coach Caleb Elliott. As Luke Clary reports, some parents are calling for the school board to resign.
Y'all have dropped the ball. Huge. All over the place.
Anger boiling over at Celina ISD. Some parents calling for members of the board to resign.
When I see so many flagrant violations of just ethical conduct.
Their anger aimed at administrators as a former Moore Middle School teacher and coach, Caleb Elliott, faces charges related to invasive recording, sexual exploitation, and child pornography. This is the first meeting since an independent investigative report was released Friday night. It shed new light on how now retired coach Bill Elliott, Caleb's father, exerted his influence to get his son hired.
Bill should have never been allowed to resign. Bill should have been fired.
Chris Caldwell has two sons at Moore Middle School. Explaining all this to them has been hard.
What is that conversation like with your kids as a parent?
They lose trust in the adults that they're supposed to trust, and it's very hard to explain.
How do you do that?
Just tell them you got their back, and you'll protect them.
The report said no Celina ISD employee knew of Caleb's alleged misconduct before his arrest. Some parents raised concerns that the report was so heavily redacted, calling for more transparency and for more leaders to take responsibility. In Celina, I'm Luke Clary.
The Dallas County Commissioners revisited a 70-year-old murder case because they now believe authorities executed an innocent man. Tommy Lee Walker maintained his innocence right up until he was put to death in the electric chair. And the son, who never got to meet him, told Brittany Moncrief this is a moment he's waiting for.
In this Dallas County courtroom, 1954, 19-year-old Tommy Lee Walker was convicted of the rape and murder of Venice Parker, a white woman. With crowds gathered, Walker awaited his fate. And now 70 years later, just feet away from where he sat,
to see that justice is done,
his son, Edward Lee Smith, still waits.
Growing up without a father, this was hard for me.
Because Edward was born just hours after Venice was murdered near Love Field. A Dallas police officer claimed Venice said a black man was the attacker. And after Tommy Lee was arrested months later, it took an all-white jury less than 2 hours to convict him.
She said, "Baby, they give your father the electric chair."
Tommy Lee was executed in 1956.
I had to go without a father. 70-some years.
70 years, still fighting for his father's innocence. Journalist Mary Mapes wrote about Tommy's case gaining the attention of the Innocence Project and the Civil Rights and Restorative Justice Project. They say one of the officers involved was a known Ku Klux Klan member. They also say officers arrested Tommy without probable cause, suppressed evidence, and used interrogation techniques that led to a false confession, which Tommy later recanted.
I feel that I have been tricked out of my life.
Dallas County Criminal District Attorney John Crezeau argued before county commissioners that Tommy was wrongfully convicted. And in a unanimous decision,
the Dallas County Commissioners Court does hereby formally recognize and declare that Tommy Lee Walker was wrongfully convicted and executed.
I mean, he knew his father was innocent, but now it's public. That stain has gone away.
And also celebrating in the courtroom,
Try not to make the same mistake again.
Was Venice's son, Joseph Parker.
This is my new friend.
I was talking about you.
Though both lost parents tragically, it's justice that brought them together.
Love everybody. In spite of what happened to my father, I still love people.
In Dallas, I'm Brittany Moncrief.
Showing grace in a heartbreaking situation. And those are your headlines from North Texas.